Good morning, Olivia.
Hey, Peter.
Welcome to the wild and wonderful White River of Indianapolis.
Thank you.
I'm Pete Bloomquist with Frank's Paddlesports Livery. We're here at the Indianapolis Arts Center at the Cornell Ave River Access. We're going out to experience the river, talk about water quality, and Citizens Energy has been a huge piece of that, all the improvements over the past couple decades. So I'll pass it to you.
Awesome. Well, I'm Olivia Hawbaker. I work with Citizens Energy Group, like you mentioned. I work in our engineering department, and I've worked on the DigIndy Tunnel System for the last 10 years or so. And so we are excited to get out on the water and experience some of the benefits that we've started to see as part of the DigIndy Tunnel System has come online.
Yeah, really incredible improvements. So Frank's Paddlesports Livery, what we do, we operate out of the Parks Alliance of Indianapolis. We've got 3 vans, 3 trailers, canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We're going to be out in 2 Askeef canoes here on 16s today, paddling. We also have tandem kayaks. We don't have any of the SUPs with us, the paddleboards, but that's all right. We'll get you out on those too if you want to. All right,
Awesome. Let's do it.
Let's make it happen. Bring as least amount of mud as I can in here.
I know, it's so clean.
We try to keep the life jackets and the boats clean. Life jackets, like, someone's more likely to wear it if it's not all nasty.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Good call.
All right, so this is your first time on this section of the river,
Yes,
right?
it is. It's beautiful.
You're in for a treat. It's baby turtle season.
I can't wait to see baby turtles.
They're gonna be everywhere.
On the banks usually?
Banks, logs, a lot on like, you know, downfalls around the bank.
Do I need to know anything about this section?
This is one of 2 Swiftwater Class 1 Indiana rapids.
Excellent.
So what we're looking at here is, see that downward shaped V in front of us?
Yes.
Yeah, also known as a tongue. That's where the majority of the water's going.
Right off to the right?
Yeah, no, like directly ahead, 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's kind of a smooth runway.
Uh-huh.
And that's what you're always trying to hit when you enter a rapid, is a runway like that.
Okay, and do we just paddle through it?
Yep.
Okay.
Really. I tend to kind of just let the river take me when it comes to rapids.
Okay.
It's easy to overcorrect, you know.
All right, last one. Not so bad.
Yeah. 1 of 2 down.
All right.
So how long, you've been on the DigIndy project and the Deep Rock Tunnel System for years, right?
For almost 11 years.
11 years.
Yes. So I started working for Citizens in 2013, and I've been involved in just different parts of the DigIndy program since then. So design management, project management, construction management, and now I do a lot of the regulatory compliance work for our consent decree. And so it's been fun to be involved for so long and see some milestones.
Heck yeah, I think at one point you told me you're now Deep Rock adjacent, right?
Yes.
DigIndy adjacent.
DigIndy adjacent. And so I get to do all the fun reporting work and correspondence with some of our regulating agencies.
So I'm a little familiar with the DigIndy project, but some folks might not be.
Yep.
Like, give us an overview. What is it? Why was it needed? And what's it doing?
Yes, great question. So DigIndy is going to be a 28-mile network of tunnels, about 18 feet in diameter and about 250 feet under Indianapolis. It really follows a lot of the waterways.
It's like down in the bedrock.
Yes, so down in the bedrock, some of the rock is really dry. Some of it, we find groundwater down there that we're diverting, or we put a concrete liner in the tunnel to try to keep some of that groundwater out, because really it's designed to treat combined sewer overflows. The sanitary sewer, combined sewer, gets treated at the treatment plants and then released back into the river as treated water instead of wastewater that was going to the rivers and streams. And it'll come on in phases. So meaning as different sections, six different sections of the tunnel are finished, it will come online and start treating in phases. So the first phase was in 2017. The most recent phases to come online were in 2022. And then our last two phases, Fall Creek and Pleasant Run, will be complete in 2025. So really long project.
Oh, we're almost there though.
We're almost there. And White River section of the tunnel, so we're on the White River now. The White River section of the tunnel is a little bit further downstream from where we are, but that was completed and brought online in 2022. So it's already been treating some of the overflows that go to White River.
That's amazing. And I tell you, I've been on this river. I've been a river ride a long time, right? This is my favorite way to spend some time. But really, even visually, I've been able to see a difference in water quality, especially over the past 3-4 years.
It's really great to hear that people are getting out on the river more as a direct impact. Oh, I see baby turtles.
Yeah. Yep, that guy's hanging out on the bank right there too.
Right, so maybe some of the impacts, direct and indirect, is that we get to see all of this increased wildlife on the river. Oh.
Hey, there's a blue heron.
Wow. I've never heard them make noise.
Sounds like a dinosaur, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're probably the closest thing we got around here to dinosaurs.
I bet.
Yeah.
We don't have any crocodiles or alligators.
So I understand that the DigIndy project hit a milestone recently.
That's
Is
right.
that right?
That is right. Yes, we hit a huge milestone for us. So now that 4 of the 6 tunnel segments are online, in April of this year, of 2024, we were able to reach a milestone that 5 billion gallons of combined sewage has been kept out of the White River from the tunnel system. So by diverting to the tunnel system, which is huge, which is about the same as 7,500 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
Well, I guess that's a little easier to wrap my mind around, but I've heard that 5 billion gallon mark, and it's something to be celebrated that people need to know about, that their local utility company is doing such awesome things.
Right. Thank you.
Which is not, my typical response when you think about utilities sometimes.
Yeah.
But those dollars are being put to good work.
Yes.
I, for one, am grateful. And I think if most people knew about it, they would be as well.
Well, thank you. And we recognize it's a huge project and it's a huge investment, and the project, so the tunnel system and the wastewater treatment plants and all of the other projects that are going on as part of DigIndy cost around $2 billion. And so that's a huge price tag for, Indianapolis to bear. And so we want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can and trying to bring things on early when we can. And it's just great to know that there is a huge benefit that's coming from that level of investment. And ultimately, citizens exist to serve the residents of Marion County and Indianapolis. And so we're really proud of that 5 billion gallons of sewage removed from the rivers, and just way more to come, right? So not even all of the tunnel is online yet. And so we really hope to just continue seeing those benefits over the next couple of years, and then beyond that, once everything is online in 2025.
So I'm gonna flip us around. This is kind of cool. These river swallows.
Yeah.
This is how nature has interacted with man-made structures.
Oh, wow.
So they build these little mud huts underneath big concrete bridges like that.
Oh, wow. Oh, I see.
Yeah. They're building them right now.
River swallows?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a better species name for them, but they're in the swallow family.
Yeah, wow.
Well, we're coming up here to Holiday Park.
Ooh, okay.
One of my favorite little areas of the river.
Right up here on the right?
Uh-huh.
I've been down on these paths before.
Yeah, this is Holiday Park we're coming into.
Yeah, awesome.
An incredible place to interact with the river. to work.
Okay.
It's a little muddy, so
Okay, that's all right.
if you need a hand, I got you.
Thank you. Let's try that. All right. You good? Can I take anything? Let me take the... Okay, all right.
Oh, here we are at Holiday Park, right?
Awesome.
Time for a little coffee break on the riverbank.
Perfect. And Holiday Park is one of how many parks that have riverfront access?
I believe it's 36
Okay.
between Marion and Hamilton County.
Awesome.
Brad Bobby will get me if I'm wrong, but I think that's I think that's right.
Perfect. So we haven't talked about 10,000 trees.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
And is that part of your initiative of like how you're cutting carbon?
Sustainability wise, right? Like we have frameworks for sustainability, but the DigIndy Tunnel System is super gray, meaning it's like a lot of concrete,
Right.
and a lot of new infrastructure, versus green would be like trees, rain gardens, bioswales. And so there's not a lot of that was naturally incorporated into the DigIndy project, simply because the tunnel was the most effective way to treat the largest amount of CSO.
Right.
And so, you know, as we thought about sustainability, and the tunnel can never be big enough to capture every single CSO event ever recorded in history. And so we know that there'll be some overflows. And so we thought, well, thank you.
Coffee?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So as we considered how can we address those remaining overflows, we entered into a partnership with Keep Indianapolis Beautiful and the city of Indianapolis.
Excellent.
And we were able to model with our hydraulic model the impact that trees could have on reducing CSOs. And so a tree, like a mature tree, can store about 100 gallons of water on its leaves. And so 10,000 trees is about 1 million gallons of water. We look at like 40 to 45 big rainfall events every year that could cause overflows. So that's 40 to 45 million gallons of stormwater that's never entering the combined system. And so there's about a 1 to 5, 1 to 6 ratio of stormwater to CSO reduction. So we're reducing CSOs by 5 to 6 million gallons by planting 10,000 trees.
You're blowing my brain right now. That is amazing.
Yes. And so we just reached our milestone of planting our 10,000th tree in April, right around the same time that we got to that 5 billion gallon mark. So it was a huge couple of months for us. And so we started in 2017. So about 7 years ago, we started planting the first of the 10,000, and we just finished planting the last of the 10,000.
How incredible. So another one of our partners, right? Both of us.
Yes.
The Parks Alliance of Indianapolis. They do some incredible work of getting people out into parks and public spaces and connecting resources to needs. And so they also are the host organization for Indy Urban Acres, which is a really cool initiative. The overall mission, like food deserts is a word that we've heard, right, in the past 10 years, is to grow healthy, fresh produce, and they give it away for free here in the community. So yeah, talk to me about how Citizens is involved in that.
Yes, so that is what I would say one of those places where we recognize sustainability is so important, and we as a utility don't have a direct impact there. And so that's when we partner with places like Frank's and Parks Alliance. And so Indy Urban Acres specifically, Citizens just did some work to install some new water supply at their farm, which I think is supposed to nearly double their yield every year. So increasing, or, you know, that sustainability idea of, we think about that primarily as environmental, but I think sustainability in terms of how we're serving our community is just another important facet of sustainability. And so Citizens has sponsored their farm raiser fundraiser for the last couple of years, and that's always a really fun event to support the work that they are doing to feed the community.
Citizens is unique as a company,
That's right.
as a utility. They've done an incredible amount for our watershed. So talk to me about like the structure. What is that? What does Citizens look like?
Yes, so Citizens is unique in terms of a public utility. So it's not government owned and it's not private. We are a public trust.
Interesting.
Which means that we exist for the benefit of the community. So we don't have shareholders, and we're not a typical municipality that's government run. And so that gives us a lot of flexibility, one, to say what would be most beneficial for the community in which we are living and working and serving. And so we're allowed to look at the benefits or for all citizens or all residents in Marion County. So even if they're not citizens, customers, our charter says what would be best for the residents of Indianapolis. And so that's where we're able to partner with organizations that can do things that we can't do or are not in our wheelhouse.
Well, I just want to say, like all of Citizens Energy's initiatives, y'all really walk the talk, right?
Thank you.
It feels that way. So
we appreciate that, and to have partners that we can feel like are real collaborative partners, that we're doing something together to help the community. And so we appreciate working with Franks too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's you know, I say working collaboratively is twice as hard, right, than being in a silo. But the payoff is 10 times as great.
Yeah.
We know what we know, and we know who knows more about other things, and best to work with them. So I think like right here,
Yep.
if you step, is probably where those like sandy rocks are.
Yep. Perfect.
Right there, yep. Gotcha. Styrofoam, the bane of any river lover's existence.
Oh, good job.
So we've talked a little bit about all the different partnerships and how Citizens is trying to give back to the community. And from a business owner and just personally want to thank y'all for helping sponsor the Blueways initiative. We're getting that program off the ground and floating, as I like to say, but that's to create equitable access specifically for where we're at, the Riverside community.
Okay.
Riverside neighborhood. We want to be rooted, right? And be an integral piece of that neighborhood.
Right. So what kinds of things are you doing with the Blueways initiative?
Yeah, so we're working with other community stakeholders to use those funds that Citizens supplied us with to then sponsor heavily discounted or free trips on the White River.
Oh, awesome.
So like what we're getting to do today. So one thing that Franks wants to do is to always like make sure that we leave the river in as good or better shape than we found it too, right? All the work that Citizens has put in, all the work that Friends of White River and White River Alliance have done for our watershed, which I've been a volunteer and member of for years. So we give out mesh bags, you know. It's good. We want everybody to go out and have a good time. Be safe, but have a good time. But just make sure you pick up after yourself.
Yep.
And we run a program called Frank's Trash Bingo as well, where if people want to give back while they're out, they can collect any trash that they can find and earn Frank's gift cards for their next trip.
Wow, that's a fantastic idea.
2 million people in Indianapolis and the donut counties, as they say.
Yeah.
A lot of those folks have never done paddle sports.
Yeah.
And so we wanted high quality, stable equipment.
Yes.
The White River is Indianapolis's predominant public space, right? It was deemed a navigable river back in the day, which is a legal term. Doesn't mean you can put a steamboat up it or anything like that. But river navigability laws are funny. So what that means is that no one owns it. The only one that has jurisdiction is DNR.
Okay. Yep.
So like on Fall Creek, if you're a private landowner, you own up to the middle of the riverbed, the middle of the stream.
Yeah.
Whereas a navigable river in Indiana, and those laws vary state by state, but here in Indiana, means there's always an easement. No one can own anything up to the typical high water mark.
Okay.
So this is everybody's river. And I love it. That's why we want to get people out here. That notion. How do you feel after spending time on the river and in nature?
Very relaxed.
Yeah.
Yes, incredible. Really grateful just to have this time and space and
asset so close to home.
Well, I'm grateful for you all.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for the partnership.
Yeah.
Big things happening.
Yeah.
5 billion gallons, DigIndy doing exactly what it's designed to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's great to spend the morning with you.
Appreciate you, Olivia.
You bet.
Yeah.